training is in the winter months.
Okay.
Spring, summer, usually competition, but they're coaching the way. And they haven't gotten time to drag my feet on it
Jennifer
for
mentioned
reasons we
there was something.
Any other things going on, or?
Glad you're all here. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
We actually dropped our membership. Oh, cheaper to get a membership.
You know, as you get older, you just don't want to lose it. When he was good.
Especially these days, she skates up there all these days. There's times where Edwardsville, Indiana, pick up her.
She said the Friday was because you come for 2 weeks. You
Right,
get
so, it's been, RP, they got a bunch of them, they want them to make one. RP, Grandine.
She's been slaying performance this way. It was just 2 weeks. So everything has an upside down. It's just from, he said this started one night. He said he came in the morning before.
Pretty nice lobby where you can see the rain. It's well designed, well thought. There's plenty of community rooms that are as a fitness center. Locker rooms and showers. On an exterior wall. And doorway for everybody. Then it's like, quick shower. For the 20 guys in there.
Yeah.
Get moving.
18 horsepower, 17 range.
Other than that, it's great for people watching the road. In one room, yeah. No, they didn't put any, they opened up, they didn't have any stands or anything.
So she's sort of.
Yeah, most of them, the doors going maybe a little bit bigger, hockey guys.
Yes, if she comes off the other way, she would better. She always said she would probably tell me. He told me.
Well, he had a hard time opening up because
Got the left shoulder, right? Really, of course. Have the right one went up, she's using the left one. There's a PT guy, there's a nice like a full on cane.
So we'll, we have 6 items on second reading. One is development, social, if we have specific questions, I'll ask you to stand up. Thank you.
All right. If we could have a roll call, please.
Campbell.
Here.
Mylart.
Here.
Parchman. Rosenberg.
Present.
Roach.
Here.
Lots.
All right. With that, I would move on to approval of the minutes from our June 22nd meeting. Do we have a motion? Second. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the committee? All right, if not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, minutes approved. All right, and then we're going to move on to ordinances for second reading. There's no changes here. But if there's anything you wanted to discuss otherwise?
No, sir. We just have 6 items tonight on second reading. These were all approved in the previous council meeting. Again, no changes are made to any of these. So if it pleases the committee, these will all move to the council meeting as presented previously.
Okay. Committee have any questions on any of these?
I have nothing.
Okay. Council? Okay. And we will move on.
And again, those items will be on, that needs to be, July 20th at 6 p.m. next week here.
There we go. All right. Next up, 2.7, resolution authorizing the zoning code redesign and update.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So 2.7 is a resolution authorizing the zoning code and design update alongside with PGAV and Horner and Schifrin. So this is an item that was budgeted for. It's something we've talked about for a number of years. After my presentation, we do have a member from PGAV in the audience. If the committee or council have specific questions, he can answer those after our presentation. So essentially, what is a zoning and development code? Well, it is the city's rule book for how land can be used and developed. It establishes standards that guide future growth while protecting existing neighborhoods, businesses, and public investments. Think of it as a document that answers questions like what can be built, where can it be built, how large can it be built, and what standards must be met. Its purpose is to ensure that development occurs in a predictable, fair, and orderly manner while promoting the public's health, safety, and welfare. So the zoning code regulates a number of items, including zoning districts. So this determines where different land uses are permitted. Examples are single-family residential, multifamily residential, commercial, office, industrial, mixed-use, and planned developments. It regulates the permitted uses within each one of those zoning uses, and that defines what activities may occur with each one of those zoning districts. So what can occur in areas like homes, restaurants, retail stores, churches, schools, warehouses, and manufacturing. It also establishes development standards, so requirements for new development such as building heights, lot sizes, building setbacks, density, parking requirements, landscaping, lighting, screening, and open space requirements. It also ensures development is attractive and compatible with surrounding properties by regulating building materials, architecture, streetscapes, signage, landscaping, and buffering between different land uses. In addition, it also has regulations regarding subdivisions, so it controls how land is divided into lots and how infrastructure is installed, which includes streets, sidewalks, water, sewer, stormwater facilities, and easements. It will also outline how projects are reviewed and approved, which includes site plans and submissions, plan developments, special use permits, variances, rezoning requests, and public hearings before the Planning Commission and City Council. So it's important to have a strong zoning development code to help the city protect property values, promote public safety, encourage quality development, ensure adequate infrastructure, manage traffic impacts, preserve neighborhood character, attract investment, and provide certainty for residents, businesses, and developers. Without a zoning code, development would occur in incompatible ways. For example, a junkyard next to a subdivision or a heavy industrial user adjacent to a school. The code helps ensure land uses are compatible and growth occurs in an orderly and predictable manner. So previously, we approved a comprehensive plan, which is our 2040 master plan. So the comprehensive plan works alongside with the zoning and development code, which is actually in our code of ordinances, hand in hand. So the master plan establishes the city's long-term vision, while the zoning and development code is a tool that implements that vision. A simple way to explain it is the comprehensive plan is where do we want to go, and the zoning development code is how do we get there. So we're choosing to do this. The last time we've gone through a comprehensive update of our zoning development manual was 2006. Now over time we have made different adjustments and changes as necessary, but I think we can all agree over the last probably 2 or 3 years, or even a little bit further out than that, you'll see an increasing number of variances requested or permitted amongst the council. That shows us that our development and zoning code is getting a little outdated for the new restrictions or requirements of land use. So the purpose of this project is to modernize the O'Fallon's land use code and design guidelines, align regulations with the city's master plan, simplify and modernize zoning, subdivision, and development regulations, create a more predictable, transparent development review process, and ensure future growth reflects the community's vision. The project as submitted includes a comprehensive review of all development regulations, and updating zoning ordinances, which is Title 15, updated commercial and residential design guidelines, stormwater regulation updates, public engagement through workshops, including stakeholder interviews and an online survey, and an updated zoning map if one is deemed necessary. Typical timeline for this project is approximately 8 to 10 months from the time we give them the notice to proceed. Staff would recommend the approval of a professional services agreement with PGAV Planners to prepare a comprehensive update of the city's land use code and design guidelines. Those deliverables will be a regulatory audit of the zoning ordinance, subdivision regulations, development manual, historic preservation regulations, mobile home park regulations. There will also be a draft updated zoning ordinance, updated commercial and residential design guidelines, public engagement process, adoption-ready ordinance and implementation recommendations, and presentations for the Planning Commission and City Council before a final adoption. The cost for these services included through PGAV Planners and their partner Horner & Shiffrin is a cost of $152,965. With that, I will open it to questions or comments.
Any questions?
One of the issues that we have had from time to time is that of compatible or comparable architecture, particularly with infills. I'd like to see that addressed in the revised standard.
Absolutely. So there's a number of sessions we've had with the consultants already to talk about big ticket items on what does the council and the city seem to always go over, and that's typically parking, signage, compatibility. And so there's already a few notes on there. There's some uses that we think are kind of outdated. There are some uses that we don't even have codified or discussed yet. And so that's all part of this process. As I said, this is probably 8 to 10 months. I would say that's a aggressive timeline. I've been through one of these previously, and they seem to be very well thought out. We did have 5 submissions, I believe, with our RFQ and RFP process, and PGAV through with Horner and Schifrin are not only do we have a lot of professional experience and historical working relationships with them, but they were also very competitive on the cost side. We're very comfortable with PGAV, who's done a lot of our zoning, development, incentive work, and then Horner and Schifrin even does our in-house review for development processes related to civil design. So we know the teams that will be working with us. And so while PGAV will be the lead and the organizer, they'll have a lot of kind of helpers and sub-consultants. And so Abigail Klein within our staff will be the city's lead in this process and helping organize everything. There will be sessions with the council and committees and planning commission. We've also asked them to put in the proposal that is listed in the agenda some public outreach sessions, whether that is open houses and significant survey opportunities so people can be heard, can see what's going on and help shape the future of this zoning code update.
Speculation, question was speculation. Are we projecting any major differences in what we have or just some tweaking? And there was some talk not long ago about the state restricting our ability to do zoning stuff locally. Do you know if there's any movement there?
Sure. So first of the 2 questions, I don't imagine a major overhaul and a significant shakeup of what we have. We have a very good code. What we have, though, is an outdated code. And so typically how zoning codes and development uses evolve over time is somebody does something that the council or the committee or even the community as a whole does not like or prefer. And of course, we hear about it in public session. And so we make little tweaks and changes. So we've been very good about updating over the years. But at the end of the day, it does require a comprehensive update. The main things I think we'll address are parking requirements and some signage. Second part is that proposed bill did not pass. So I haven't heard any new legislative talk about another bill that looks like that, but local zoning control, as the council approved in a resolution supporting local control, is very important to us and many other communities. So we do watch that closely.
All right, any questions from the council? Public? Do you have anything else? Did I miss anything?
Did you want to add
You just want to introduce yourself? You'll see him quite a bit over the next probably 12 months.
Absolutely, thank you. My name's Andy Struckoff, I'm the president of PGV Planners. But you said it all perfectly. I couldn't add anything to what you already said, and I look forward to working with you all, and I appreciate the opportunity to be of service to the O'Fallon community. Thank you very much.
Yep. So we've most recently worked with PGAV on some of our business districts and amusement pet taxes. They've been heavily involved with all of our TIFs and all of our, not so much our land use agreements, but they've been very involved for the city for a long time, well before I was ever here. They were working with us. And the team with Horner and Schifrin will include April, I think, will be their lead, and she also is our lead on our civil design review.
I did have one other question. I'm assuming this will also, with your support, bring, maybe there's best practices that we haven't thought of yet from other communities.
Yes, as it was great to mention, bringing the code, modernizing it, so to speak. We will look at other examples, and we're doing this work in other communities in the area as well. So we'll bring what we've learned and what Horner and Schifrin has learned in other communities to you guys for your review and comment and understanding, and as we work towards modernizing your code, for sure.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, then I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Campbell?
Yes.
Mylart?
Yes.
Rosenberg?
Affirmative.
Roach?
Yes. All right, that will move on then as well to our next city council meeting.
Yep, that'll be the next council meeting. As I mentioned, it was budgeted, so once we give them the notice to proceed, we will define the timeline and share that with the council and the committee and the public. Again, there'll be a process as we go through this with surveys and feedback and open houses. And so these are very engaged and involved processes, so there'll be a lot coming from this project.
All right, great. Thank you. And then community development report?
Yep. So once a month, we try to provide an update on our statistics and the process, our progress of the community development department. And so on the screen are the June 2026 statistics with 93 building permits issued. The total sum of construction for the month was about $15 million, or a little over that. 5 special event permit applications applied for. 162 occupancy permit inspections completed. That does not include the re-inspections. 769 building inspections were completed. This number includes both commercial and residential inspections. 70 fire inspections and 129 code enforcement cases received, 791 actions completed on those submitted cases. You'll see there's a pretty large jump from the occupancy and then the building inspections. That does include a lot of solar inspections, which has been a heavy workload over these probably last 12 months. As a lot of people are installing solar on their rooftops.
All right.
Lastly, we try to do a building update on private development around the area. So the Artisan Apartment Complex, certificates of occupancy has been issued for buildings 1, 2, and 3. Building 4 is in progress, so those that are not aware, Artisan is on Central Park. This is the sister development of the Indigo, which is the Central Park apartments, which were on second reading tonight. Brandywine on South Lincoln has 16 buildings occupied and 5 more under construction. Construction at the hospital, MOB space, and ER expansion. So the second and third floor tenant finishes are expected to be submitted soon. Projected to open around September 2026. Old Base Factory has drywall complete and interior work is moving along. They're hoping to open by the middle of August. We have received the preliminary site plans for Meyer and the shops at Pierce. Those have been sent to Horner and Schifrin for their review and back to the developer to make changes. Park Place, the developer secured a few letters of intent from retailers, and engineering design for relocation of the power lines are complete. They're currently working on the intersection design study and roadway site improvements. These will have to go through IDOT approval and ours before they're issued notice to proceed. As we've talked many times, this is a $300+ million project, so I know we've approved this quite a while ago, but the engineering, the layout, the marketing for the site does take a significant amount of time, and we see that they've just finally received that design for the power pole relocation. Home 2 Suites is on Regency for structural framing and the front entrance canopy steel. Installations are well underway. Inside, the utility rough ends are progressing smoothly with drywall installation already complete on the first floor. And Spring Hill Suites at Green Mountain 50, the structural steel installation is underway as crews begin raising the wood framing walls. I do want to make a note that our commercial building inspector, Jared McNulty, returned from his vacation last week, so Chad Truin is finally catching his breath on a lot of these inspections. That is the end of our community development update, Mr. Chair. If there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions?
I made a run-up over in Eferman over the past weekend and noticed there at the old Base Factory, there was a lot more excavation behind the old Base Factory than what I remembered it being presented. The thing I remember about our discussions when we approved that was some concerns of the neighborhood with flooding and that sort of thing, and some of it probably was hyperbole, some of it was probably real. But that looks like is there a stormwater detention or retention pond there at the bottom of the hill? Is that part of the development?
Yes, they're doing some excavation for stormwater management. Okay. There is another pond to the north in the subdivision, and then one further south as you get into the actual drainage swales. And so they've got a detention there with a spillway that goes over towards the east of the site. I think my directions are right. That it connects with existing stormwater management infrastructure.
Great.
Yep.
Any other questions on the report?
And I think they've got a couple users that they've announced. I believe that Heaters Chicken is one of their tenants. think that was on the B&D recently.
What's the other one?
I don't know if they're announced them yet. Seems like it should come soon, right? They'll be open in August.
We would suppose. All right, if nothing else, I would open it up for any public comments. If you have any comments, just come forward to the mic. All right. Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Okay.
Good job. There we go.
Quick and easy. Thank you. Good job, Ollie.
18 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes to approve a year-long project.
Yeah.
Doesn't take long to spend money.
Well, that's true. 150.